What does it mean to be a woman in film?
It means it's really hard. And if you're a woman of color, then it's really, really hard.
That's 100% a lie.
And if you're a woman of color, then it's really, really hard.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
That 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males.
Oh no. Anyway.
Less than a quarter were white women.
Good. Good.
Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color.
See, nobody cares.
So you're probably thinking right now, like, wow, that super doesn't represent the country that I live in, and that's because that's true.
No, and I don't care.
This is a huge disconnect from the U.S. population breakdown.
It doesn't matter what you think!
There is an insanely low chance a woman of color will have the chance to see your movie and review your movie.
Shut up, bitch!
Besides white dudes. And I'm also saying I don't hate white dudes. And for the third time, I don't hate white dudes. I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
It wasn't made for him.
What? What the fuck?
The Marvel's executive producer, Mary Livanos, reveals that the movie will deconstruct Brie Larson's Captain Marvel character. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Etep, how can you deconstruct something that is already vapid, hollow, and just a husk of what a character could be?
Because that's what heroes do.
You're correct, citizen. This character is vapid, hollow, and nothing but a husk of what it could be, pretty much like the actress herself, Brie Larson.
Is that like a personal attack or something? Or?
Who is a vapid, hollow husk of a human being masquerading around as a adult pretender who operates in front of a green screen, much like myself, but for way more money. I haven't had a movie make $1.13 billion allegedly, which, I mean, there was probably some chicanery at the box office there. We all know it. Just like the Rotten Tomato score sits at 79% and 45% respectively. They called it review bombing, and we know that excuse would continue throughout the years until they finally just dropped the movie. They announced the sequel back in 2019 at San Diego Comic-Con, and of course it never came to fruition because, well, the pandemic. The fact that this movie was downgraded, her sequel, to a team-up movie. Well, they wanted to showcase 3 female characters. No, they simply did not have and knew they would not have 2 bookends like Infinity War and Endgame to sandwich this movie between. And I know what you're thinking again. Well, Etep, Ant-Man was sandwiched between them. Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And that didn't make $1 billion. No, it didn't, but it was never marketed as being as integral to the plot of the Infinity Saga as Captain Marvel was. Because from the moment that Brie Larson was like on Twitter, what was it? Hey, W, wanna break the internet, Z's? And announced that she had taken the role or been cast in the role of Cat Pan Mediocre. There was really no clamoring for this movie. I mean, I don't. You were talking a failed comic book series that had been rebooted 9 times in 12 years. And having read a lot of the older Captain Marvel run when she wore the black outfit, red sash, those were good. The character was feminine. She was beautiful. She was vulnerable. Yet she was powerful and intelligent. A well-rounded female character, you know, that's all we wanted, but this is what we got. We got an insufferable, brainwashed Hollywood, you know, lifer, basically, in Brie Larson in the role, and we got a poorly written movie by Anna Fleck and Ryan Bowden. Here we are today, almost, we're over 4 years later, 4.5 years after the release date of that Captain Marvel. And we're getting ready for the, 5-time pushed back team-up movie, The Marvels, which is going to now deconstruct that character, which I described to you during the opener to this video. Ah, yes, there's Queen Brie, the paramour to Papa Cotton, as it were. Livanos' revelation that they would deconstruct the character came in an interview with Total Film, where she discussed how the film's three main characters will interact with each other, beginning with the relationship between Teyonah Parris' Monica Rambeau and Larson's Carol Danvers. Livanos stated, the notion that Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers' paths would cross has been something that's been in the works for quite some time. It was discussed when making Cat Pan mediocre, if the adult-friend relationship might be between Monica and Carol. But we ultimately decided on Monica's mother, Maria, so that in the future we could have Monica Rambeau growing up, be her own hero, and then feature a reunion between Carol and Monica that could evidence how sometimes difficult, estranged family-esque relationships can be, she explained.
I think I can sum up the show for you with one word. Nothing.
Yeah, they had the foresight to plan all this, but they didn't think that all their future projects, when they went in a certain direction, were going to flop. Boy, how funny is that, Marvel? You really, really, really don't like money anymore, do you? I mean, okay, so they're not making great product anymore. Never watched any of Secret Invasion. I've pretty much dipped out on all since, what was it, Wakanda Forever, and watching half of Doctor Strange, and then just going off of listening to other people's reviews of the movies, both sides of the fence, and none of it sounds appealing anymore. So this movie being, a sequel downgraded to a team-up, being pushed back 5 times, having characters that nobody is really invested in. Miss Marvel was not very widely viewed. WandaVision kind of fell off with the whole red herring. Everybody thought it was going to be Mephisto. Of course it wasn't going to be Mephisto in a fucking Disney Plus show, really. And then, you've got Monica Rambeau just in that little appearance, in the end of that show as Photon.
Not a great plan.
The famous line,
they'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Nobody really is invested in these characters. Like Monica Rambeau in the comics was a much different character. Being a girl boss in the modern day means, you sense of entitlement. You're never wrong. You're perfect. Everybody loves you for absolutely no reason, but they just do. And men are always evil or stupid.
That is one big pile of shit.
That is a modern day girl boss. Any 100-pound female can toss around a 290-pound, trained male fighter at will. It's not out of misogyny because, like I said, we're sitting back and we're always talking about how there's awesome female characters that we love, and you criticize one that you don't like. Oh my, and here comes the ists and isms, and you're a bully and this and that. And it's like, no. If these were male characters we were dissecting in the same manner, nobody would really defend them as ardently as they do when they're females. That's the problem. There's plenty of shit male characters too, trust me. Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk is pathetic. Professor Hulk in the MCU is shit. Ant-Man has been completely just neutered. They made Loki look like a joke in his own fucking show. Bucky Barnes, this badass trained assassin, is now a bumbling idiot. I can go on. Hawkeye was completely made to look like a buffoon in his show. He was feeling yeah, that's why Echo is kicking his ass all over Hell's Creation, and so is Yelena Belova. Yeah, tell me more, about how wrong I am. Please, tell me more. But why can't Clint Barton just punch Yelena Belova in the face and drop her, like what happened in reality? Oh, because we can't have men hitting women like that? This is the same thing I say when I talk about, like, AEW or any intergender wrestling. On like a mainstream level, the door only swings one way. It only benefits the woman. It never benefits the male participant. Never. So there's no point to it. There's no point. Either way, you lose, you come out looking like a chump. You win, you look like an asshole. So what's the upside here? None. But Marvel insists upon, ha, man get kicked in balls. That's funny. Ha, man get thrown. Ha, man get punched in the face repeatedly by a woman. That funny. Ha. But we all know that, the intersectional feminist garbage. We know. That's why you're hiring Chloe Zhao to direct an Eternals movie, or Kate Shortland, and Black Widow. They don't understand the genre. You know, Kate Shortland didn't know how to read comics, but oh yeah, I can translate this comic character perfectly to the big screen.
I'll have to finish it myself.
What are you going to do?
All these directors that Marvel hires are nothing but Muppets for Kevin Feige to sit back and be like, do this, do that, do this. That's why they burn through directors quit. Or Livanos then turned her attention to the relationship between Kamala Khan and Carol Danvers. Little Miss Marvel has this ideal view of Carol Danvers. So to see that strip back and Miss Marvel get to know her hero for who she actually is was an interesting deconstruction that really warmed our hearts. Yeah, these people are nihilists, so they love deconstructing things, which now they're tearing their own things apart. This is them eating their own. This is too many piranhas in the tank. Because Miss Marvel is not a beloved character by any metric. So to see her deconstructed by the very people who deconstructed our stories to build her up is absolutely funny. But I mean, I'm not saying they're going to make a complete fool of her in this movie. That won't happen. But for them to use that language, you know, would lead me to believe that, you know, they're going to make her look a little more vulnerable in this. I mean, maybe that's a good thing. And like I said, it's pathetic because this character could have been good from the start.
You've got to do better.
She added, we are all prone to fall into similar trappings when it comes to hero worship. You think that heroes can fix any problem. But in this movie, we actually examine how sometimes decisions you make in an attempt to make things better can sometimes make things worse and have a cascading effect that spirals out of your control. They're not doing anything new here. They're not reinventing the wheel with this storyline, this arc, folks. This is just boilerplate garbage tier, typical Marvel shite.
Shite. Oh yes, that's shite.
Is what they're gonna shovel out to you and then call you a misogynist when you don't want to go see it. After the last video I did where they said it's made for women, so you know, you be the judge of that. It's gonna be another Charlie's Angels. I don't quite think it'll bomb as financially bad as that did, but to the certain, you know, to the degree. But this is not going to be $1 billion movie. There's not a snowball's chance in hell that happens. So while we're seeing Carol Danvers grapple with what has become of her actions, we see that also processed through the eyes of Miss Marvel. We actually experience the forgiveness through the eyes of another person. That can be freeing for the person who might not be able to forgive themselves, Livanos concluded. And that's funny because Miss Marvel literally has nothing to forgive Brie Larson for. This movie is not going to be good. Like, objectively, I can't wait to... But this is the thing, is like, I can't wait to see the people that, you know, are like, I'm never going to say... And then they go and they're sitting up front with their popcorn bucket with their buddy with the hole cut in the bottom of it. You know, it's certain, you know, it's going to happen. They're not grifters.
We talked about this, and, you know, we're really not...
As for why Khan idolizes Captain Marvel, it's explained in the opening sequence of the Miss Marvel Disney Plus series. She states, I've learned a lot about Cat Pan Mediocre, and I know at least 3 things to be true. 1, she blasted through Thanos' fleet like a flaming angel.
What the hell is even that?
I would say more like a rabbit turd out of a slingshot, but okay, we can go with her analogy.
2, she, like, punched Thanos right in the faces? Like, oh my god, sis?
No offense to any of the other Avengers, but I really don't think they could have done that.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Go on about how Cat Pan Mediocre punched Thanos in the face, and then this happened. She continued, in 3, sometimes someone can come out of nowhere and do something amazing. I know some of you think, well, she abandoned the people of Earth. But look, it's not true, these. Obviously, we don't exactly know what she's been up to, these. But maybe she just, like, needed a break, you know? Can't a woman just live?
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
A woman can just live, because most of the time, if they're not hardworking, they are simply just sustaining their existence by leeching off of a man and his labor and efforts. If they don't make their own money, that's exactly what they're doing. If it's not a situation where she's the mother of children, she just is some insane zoomer who doesn't want to work, feels entitled to a man just going to work, 8 to 12 hours a day and her living off his income, then yeah, you're entitled to just live like a leech. That's fine. Narrative that women are somehow subjugated and persecuted is absolutely fucking hilarious. Every HR department is run by females. Damn near every single one of them. I mean, there's no battle of the sexes, folks. There is none. Men and women are supposed to complement each other, not compete with each other. If you are one of the genders and you think you're competing with the other one, either way, you're a fucking moron. You are. If you're a man thinking, I have to compete with women, well, you're a fucking moron. And women, you think you're competing with men, you're a fucking moron. And that's antithetical to us living together harmoniously. Are there bad men out there? Absolutely. And there's a lot of shitty fucking women, too. So, trust me, the scales are equal on both sides. And the bad on both sides are both shit, okay? So there. Are we clear?
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
As for the actions that Carol Danvers has made that might spiral out of control, it's possible she followed through with her threat to end the war between the Kree and the Skrulls, as I mentioned earlier, and expose the supreme intelligence that she had Jan Rog deliver at the end of Cat Pan Mediocre. This could lead to a radical Kree like the gender-swapped villain of Dar-Ben.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Deciding to seek vengeance on Cadaver Danvers and possibly Earth. Ah, yes, female Ronin. With her big fucking forehead.
That big ass head. Look at your hairline. You will never find a hairline like mine. Your shit is way back here. If you was in the army, you have to salute like this. Yes, sir. Your shit is fucked up. You ain't got a 4-head, you got a 5-head. But when you have dreams, you don't have dreams, you have movies.
It's quite possible that Carol Danvers' move against the Kree and the Supreme Intelligence in an effort to end the war between the Kree and the Skrulls resulted in a civil war amongst the Kree. We already know that Ronan was an outcast Kree in the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. It's not out of the realm of possibility that the gender-swapped Dar-Ben leads a more militant faction of Kree that want to continue the war against the Skrulls. It's even possible that a Skrull might have assumed to the rulership of the Kree in the wake of Danvers taking out the Supreme Intelligence. This would highly motivate a militant Dar-Ben to not only act revenge against Captain Marvel, but to lead to more death and destruction. Well, there you have it, folks. It sounds like Brie Larson's Cat Pan Mediocre, Cadaver Danvers, however you refer to her, will have to face some form of accountability in this movie, but I will guarantee you this, not too much accountability, because she's got her girls by her side.
2 snaps, a twist, and a kiss.
No, I don't think I will.
It's not going to be a good movie. It's not. I'm not going to see it, but I will listen to everybody else rant about it, and we'll see how it does financially. That's what I'm interested in, is audience reception, both sides, and how much money it makes, comparatively speaking, against its budget. A couple of years ago, I think the budget was reportedly around $130 million. I mean, you could probably add a lot into that now for reshoots because they've been working on this for so long, plus your marketing, distribution costs. It's going to be a tough hill to climb for the Marvels, for the gals, to get back over that $1 billion hill that I don't believe is going to happen. No Infinity War and no Endgame. Oh, they're really up the creek without a paddle here. But now it's your turn. Let me know what you think. And do you think this will make $1 billion? Are you going to go see the Marvels? Have you checked out of the MCU? Leave all your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, folks, do all the things. I said comment. Now it's time to subscribe, as I put the little graphic up here, up top. You can subscribe as the little things are going beep, beep, beep all around me. Subscribe and ding the bell for notifications so you know when we go live for one of our 3 weekly live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. 4 if you're a channel member, because we added the member stream on Thursdays. That's it, folks. I'm Etep, and from the Place to Be Reviews, I've been here with all you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I will catch you on the next one.
much.